Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual disclaimers. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused. You know the drill. Please read the article. Share on all your social media. Also included is NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. Excuse me, allergies. Trigger warning 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you do got young children present, please make sure to use the headphones. Trigger warning 2. Excuse me. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and do speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is very much advised, alright? So, where we left off last time, folks. Comment 60, prepare yourselves for more stupid, although I must say, reading what I did the other night, my head is still blown. I still can't figure out what it was that they were actually trying to argue, because holy crap. Comment 60. In the context of its arguments regarding the practice of medicine, one commenter cites 510 of the FDNC Act and 21 CFR 807.65D, which exempt practitioners licensed by law to prescribe or administer devices and who manufactures devices solely for the use in their practice from registration and listing, and consequently pre-market notification requirements. In other words, you people are sick sons of bitches. You don't believe that disabled people should have any protections whatsoever against insane doctors that prescribe torture as medicine. And you feel like because it's used exclusively at the JRC, that should mean that the FDA should not be able to keep you from torturing kids. Am I hearing this right? Am I hearing that right? Of course I am, because people, if you want to know what a monster actually looks like, not what the media tells you a monster looks like, if you want to know what an actual soulless piece of shit looks like, look up the JRC, because you're about to get an education. All right? So, but they are trying to say because they actually administer and manufacture, and because they are the sole makers and sole users of the device, that should exempt them from any level of scrutiny that is demanded from every other single kind of residential and otherwise treatment program that everybody else has to do. So once again, it's the JRC wanting to say we are above the law, right? Sorry, JRC, but you're not. In fact, your founder knew that you're not above the law. That's how he got caught trying to discard evidence. funny how that works, right? Let's continue. The commenter asserts that FDA's Mobile Medical Applications Guidance, February 2015, suggests that licensed practitioners who develop the devices solely for use in their professional practice and do not label or promote their product to be used generally by others would not be considered medical device manufacturers and therefore would not have to register, list, or submit a pre-market application for their device. In other words, we solely make our torture devices, and we're the only ones that use them. So these kids that are being tortured with impunity are going to continue to do so, and we don't think that you should have the power to do anything about it. Isn't that just the JRC in a nutshell? It's the, but we are special. You see, we're above the law. It doesn't matter that we send kids to the ER. It doesn't matter that 6 kids are dead at our hands. It doesn't matter that there are documents and video surveillance footage of the never ending torture of disabled kids because we are the JRC and we should just be above the law and you should just let us do it. Right? Right? I'm afraid that's just not how things work, JRC. Because there has not been a proper federal investigation done into you, we are not exactly sure which rights of ours that you have violated, but I am willing to bet that it's probably every single one of them in alphabetical order. The fact of the matter is you are not above the law. And even with as much power as you have been given to do barbaric things, there are still things that you have to adhere to, or you really can be closed down. Because no organization, residential program, community-based program, or otherwise is exempt from all the law. Okay? Please stop with your God complex. This God/martyr complex is nauseating. You all are monsters. You should have been closed when the first kid died at your hands. Okay? The commenter concludes that the JRC is not a device manufacturer because its GED devices are used only for its residents and are not promoted or offered for sale in any other institutions, and argues the JRC devices are outside the FDA's jurisdiction because they are not subject of any interstate commercial sale. In other words, they're saying because we're not producing these on the mass market, you shouldn't have any say on what devices we use on those kids. But here's the problem here. It more than the FDA has the authority to say something. Let's see here. ADA law, the Disability Bill of Rights. There are federal protections that those kids have an absolute 100% right to. And you can't get away forever with, but the court ordered it, but the parent signed off. By God, you realize you live in the state of Massachusetts. Salem. Okay? Salem. Your track record is shit. First off, let's start there. And you've gotten away with a lot. Way more than any other residential program has ever gotten away with. If that shit would have happened out here, I live in one of the reddest states in the United States. These people are so backwards they can probably turn around and see Narnia. I don't know. That's a bad analogy. I'm tired, folks. You get my point. Fact of the matter is, if a residential program was up to the shit that the JRC was doing here, well, you saw what happened to Agape after years of push, right? Yeah, that. JRC, you're not above the law. It is a medical device that you are using on kids to hurt them, your own words. We have medical documents coming out of our eyes and ears in regards to the absolutely horrible ramifications of you using that device on kids. Those kids have rights to protections against monsters like you. The never-ending appeal to authority, your constant big pharma, big pharma, big pharma, big pharma bullshit doesn't fly here. Okay? Let's read the FDA's response. We'll close out. We gotta go to the next video remotely after this, and then I really hope my antacid medicine comes because holy crap, folks, getting old sucks. Let's get into it. The FDA disagrees. The statute, regulation, and guidance cited by the commenter regarding registration, listing, and pre-market review in no way impact the FDA's authority to ban a device under Section 516 of the FD&C Act, or our determinations regarding banning ESDs. FDA notes, however, that the GED devices are subject to FDA jurisdiction and are subject to this ban. In other words, if what the JRC is trying to say here was actually true, then why did they fall over backwards to get that first registration done in 1991? And why, since then, have they been running like hell and trying to use misdirection and loopholes to be able to get the current devices as they are scrutinized and licensed? They know it's a lie. And the FDA is not the only place here that could have the authority in regards to stopping this insanity. I'd like to see the day where the money just doesn't talk as loudly as the trauma and the horrors those kids faced. I can only hope so. But as we live in a world where the media would rather do this political show pony bullshit instead of shining a light on corrupt, evil bastards like this, yeah. I know it's depressing. I'm not going to stop fighting until the day I croak. But guys, it can look pretty dark sometimes. We're going to go ahead and close out on that one. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So folks, if you could, you know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see y'all in a few minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.